Hello and good evening, vlog. Today is Tuesday, September 8th, as you just saw in the intro screen. My day started off with a workout, so nothing too crazy. But then I went into... Sorry, I have to look at my schedule so I remember what all I did today. And so I make sure I go in order for different things, so bear with me. Okay, so I started my day with a workout, and then I immediately went on the phone. I was on the phone with multiple different insurance companies, as well as the facility that I did my elbow surgery at, or that I had my elbow surgery completed at. I reached back out to a lady who had been in contact with me for about a month now, and it turns out she had not been, probably not a month, a little under a month, but she had not been receiving my calls, voicemails, or emails, allegedly. Not sure about that, but she rightfully was getting upset and getting impatient with receiving her quotes. But I had tried to reach out to her after she filled out my form, stating that I needed a couple pieces of information further before I could get her any official quotes. So I finally made contact with her, and then I also had to call a share program that I am an agent with, because I had got this dude's wife signed up for their share program membership, and he's a financial advisor, so he has his life and health insurance license. So I get a call from him today, and he goes, yeah, I just got appointed with not supposed to say the name of the company, whoops. I just got appointed with the share program that you helped my wife get signed up with, so I need you to call them essentially and say, hey, I need to make her husband, him, the agent on record. Effectively saying, hey Colin, I need you to call into the company and request that they not pay you anymore. So that kind of sucked. But I did it, and then him and I are going to hopefully still schedule a one-to-one soon, because he keeps telling me that he wants to send people my way for health insurance. He says he gets questions about it a lot. He says especially the Medicare market. But before he does, he wants to not vouch for me. He wants to be able to vouch for me by getting to know me and vetting me, and just sitting down chatting with me. So hopefully I'll get to schedule a meeting with him soon. Next, I had an appointment at noon that was supposed to go until 1 p.m., but I literally did not leave his house until around 2 o'clock. So I was there for a little over 2 hours, actually. And that was because he was a tricky one. He's 61. He just moved to the United States from Korea. He's a U.S. citizen. He was over in Korea teaching English, actually, which is kind of cool. But this was a weird situation. This is a fault of mine, in that I wasn't fully versed in what I needed to be when dealing with him. I wasn't really aware that he was going to have foreign income. And offhand, I didn't know all the rules regarding foreign income, whether or not it's applied to get a tax credit from the government, or how much to include. So we spent the first 35 minutes, 40 minutes maybe, trying to do the conversion between Korean won, I think that's how you say it, and US dollars, and seeing how much he's gonna actually make in terms of US annual gross taxable income this year, or technically modified adjusted annual gross income. And that was complicated as well, because with foreign earned income, you get a form from the IRS, it's like the 2555, and you get to essentially not claim a lot of money on your tax dollars. I think for 2020 it was $107,600, if I remember right. I can't remember the exact number. It was a little over $100,000 that you don't have to claim. So he was going to essentially net $0 of income. And so then that falls below even the minimum threshold for getting an Affordable Care Act plan, or for getting a subsidy at least. But then he was saying, well, I can technically just not use all of that tax break, or not claim residency for, he could change his residency status so he would only be a resident of Korea for half the year, which would then make him lose some of that income forgiveness. This sounds way complicated, and I suck at explaining this. I'm sorry, it was so confusing. Essentially, long story short, we got him to a place where he was going to get a fantastic subsidy. But then going through the application, because I had never dealt with a situation like this before, I got to the page regarding income and deductions. And so I called the marketplace just to make sure, because I didn't see the foreign earned income as a deduction. Called the marketplace and speak to someone. They didn't know, so I really pushed to speak with the manager. So while we were on hold with the manager, I started poking around on healthcare.gov some more. And of course I saw right there in plain English that it said, your foreign excluded income, although you're not going to get taxed on it, we will count that as income for the marketplace. So you cannot get, that will go towards your overall income, which then pushed him over. Now he does not get a marketplace subsidy. Oh, and also to add more fuel to this messy ass fire, he also claims that he does not have Parkinson's. He said he took a test for Parkinson's, but the test said no. And then the next doctor he went to, they said, yes, you absolutely have Parkinson's. And he's prescribed 2 different Parkinson's related medications. But he says he's not technically prescribed them because he just gets them via coupons, like from the internet. And also he's prescribed 3 other medications for mental health, like depression, anxiety, I think just those 2. And he says those aren't technically prescribed to him either. He just buys them, which you have to have a prescription to buy them. But also it's weird because that might not be on his medical record, he was saying, because some of this was done in Korea when he lived there. So it was just a huge cluster. So I had to leave his house and just say, here's an option for a short-term medical plan, but I'm not even entirely sure you'll get approved. And I said, I'll have to get some quotes to you, which I'm actually about to do right now, later tonight, showing you some like supplemental, like hospital plan, cancer plan, heart plan package. So that was a total nightmare. I didn't even get a sale out of it yet, so that really sucks. And I was supposed to have a one-to-one with a PNC broker at 2 p.m. Although I already have my go-to PNC broker, I still like meeting others. I feel kind of bad because it's essentially them saying they're willing to send people my way if I'm willing to send people their way. And I kind of say, I already have someone. So I don't know, it's just kind of always awkward talking to other PNC brokers. But as of right now, at the time of this video, my go-to guy is here. And for all you civilians who don't know what PNC stands for, that stands for property and casualty. So that means home, auto, business type of insurance. Because I obviously don't do that stuff. I just do life and health. Then I came home after that noon appointment that lasted until like a little after 2. I got home at about 2:30 and hopped on the phone again. I was on hold with multiple different companies. I'm gonna have to call back another company tomorrow because I didn't get to them in time. But I had a question about my commission. It didn't make sense. I got paid more than I thought I was supposed to, so that was a pleasant surprise. But I don't want to come back and owe the company, next month or whatever. So I have to figure that out so I don't owe them or get a charge back. And then something else I did was tracked my earnings over the weekend, my monthly income, as well as some expenses that I had. I don't know if I said this, but over the weekend I bought a Nintendo Switch game. I pre-ordered the Super Mario Bros. 3D All-Star Collection or something like that. I'm looking forward to that. That was my present to myself for my birthday, as well as my little gift for paying off my surgery. After this month, I will have completely paid off everything for my elbow surgery, which you guys can't see the scar obviously because I'm wearing a shirt. I'm stupid. Then at 5 o'clock, I had a meeting with the mother of a dude I went to high school with, which sounds funny saying that, of course. But I met her early on in networking last year, and she's actually getting on Medicare at the end of this year. So I sat down with her and I explained her Medicare 101, as I call it, the A, B, C's, and D's of Medicare. I showed her what it was like to go the MedSup and PDP route compared to the Advantage plan route. Just gave her different quotes and showed her multiple different plans and stuff regarding Medicare. Then I wasn't really feeling too hot, so I was supposed to go to the Young Republican meeting, monthly meeting. I was actually really excited too because it was in Exarban. It was nice and close compared to everything seems to be happening out west always. But I just wasn't feeling too well, so I decided to just come right home. I knew I still had some work ahead of me, so that's what I plan on doing right now. I need to get the quote for that 12 o'clock appointment. I keep looking for clients' names. I want to say them, but I forget I can't say them in these videos, technically, I think, because that violates HIPAA, I'm pretty sure. So just to be safe, I'm not going to say them. But I have to get the supplemental package quote for that gentleman. And then what else do I have to do? Oh yeah, also, going back to that lady who hadn't been receiving my voicemails and stuff. I have to send her an official quote now that I have all the other pieces of information from her. But also earlier today, in regards to her situation, I had to call the agency that I'm underneath for Obamacare plans. I'm only underneath one agency, and it's only for Obamacare plans as well as Medicare Advantage plans. And even still, it's just a couple carriers for both of those. I like to keep mostly everything tied directly to me, to myself. But I called him, the owner of that agency, as well as I had to call the marketplace because he didn't know the answer. So today was the day of marketplace problems and tricky marketplace clients. Not only did that 12 o'clock appointment take up so much time because of the foreign income thing, but then this lady that she hasn't been getting my messages and stuff. She is the owner of a chain haircut place, salon, I don't know, a chain haircut place in town. And she says she has about 25 employees. She owns a couple different branches. But she doesn't take their group coverage because it's too expensive. She was on her husband's, but her husband passed away, unfortunately, a couple months ago. So she's wanting to get a quote from me, obviously, like I told you. But no one could give me an answer as to what counts as affordable coverage for her. So the marketplace has a bunch of rules, but one of them is that you don't qualify for a government subsidy if you're offered other coverage, and that coverage is deemed, it meets the minimum standards for coverage, which means it pays for like 60% of common bills or something like that. But then the other aspect of that is it has to be no more than 9.76, I think is the exact percentage, 9.76% of someone's total income, total monthly income or total annual income, however you do the calculations. So that is very easy to calculate oftentimes because that 9.76 is only the amount that the employee pays for their portion of their health insurance. You know, obviously with the employer plan, the employer pays for 50% usually of the group health insurance plan, and the employee pays for 50% usually for the health insurance plan. Let me mute my computer. But with her, she is both the owner or the employer as well as the employee. So my question was, and it's a silly question I guess, but I mean it's very valid in my opinion, and no one knows the answer apparently. Not even the marketplace could give me an answer. I said, does that 9.78% then count towards the whole monthly premium of her insurance cost because she's both the employer and the employee, or is it just the 9.7% of half of the total monthly premium? I hope that made sense to you guys, because I had a hard time explaining it, I guess, too. But I don't know if the affordability standards applies to the full monthly premium that her insurance plan would cover for her. It would cost for her because she's both the owner and the employee. So literally the answer I got from the marketplace was, she directed me to this website, this PDF, and she says, well, this is what, if we were to ever check to verify things, the employer, again, which is this lady, would need to fill out. And it is a very simple form. Just ask for the employee name, the employee information, the employer information as well. Then it asks if the coverage that you as the employer offers meets the minimum standard of coverage, the 60% of cost thing. And then it also asks how much the employee's share of just the employee part of the health insurance plan costs. My thoughts on that are the owners of any company, the owners of companies have a very, very big loophole where they can offer insurance even if it's very expensive, and then they can just say that they make themselves as the employee pay the full price of it, and then that coverage is deemed unaffordable, and then they qualify for a tax subsidy from the government. I don't know if that is how that works, but that's how my interpretation of the marketplace manager, actually, because I had to get that escalated as well. That's my interpretation of what they said. So for any other brokers out there, please, please, please reach out and let me know if you've ever dealt with this situation, and let me know the answer to this, because the way I interpreted it was that this lady still does qualify for a tax subsidy because she just can say that, since she's in control, she'll say that the employer is making her, the employee, which she's also the employer, she's making herself pay for the full price, making that plan unaffordable, which will then give her a tax subsidy. Sounds messy, sounds sketchy, sounds devious. It doesn't sound like that should be right. But that's the interpretation that I got from the marketplace representative. And wow, was that long and confusing. So if you're still sticking around for this part of the video, thank you so much. You might as well drop a like and hit the subscribe button. So yeah, I have a couple more quotes to send out to people tonight. And then I'm going to hopefully get this edited and uploaded and say good night. So I don't know why, but I decided to stand in the bathroom for this as I was starting to get ready and wind down for the night. But my girlfriend and I, we were just hanging out, and so we just moved into our new apartment, and we both hate our closet setup because it doesn't fit right. The hangers stick out too far on one side, making you kind of have to like shimmy and walk sideways to get to another part of the closet. And there's not enough storage because she has so much shit. But she was saying that, well, it's no fair because so many of your clothes are in your dresser. And I gave her half a dresser drawer, 3/4 a dresser drawer, actually, keep in mind, out of the 6 drawers. But she claimed, I was like, no, it's just because you have too many clothes, especially shoes, which she did not like to hear. And she goes, no way, you definitely have more clothes than me. I bet you have more clothes than me. And I couldn't get her to bet, unfortunately, because I would have made some money. But so what we ended up doing, and I'm not joking, her and I counted all of the clothes in our closet and all of our shoes. Then we took it further. We counted all of our belts, all of our winter coats, all of our hats. And so all in all, we counted essentially all of our pieces of clothing, and socks, of course, count as one pair, one number. But all in all, together, we counted up how many items of clothing that we both have. Let me preface this before I say the total number. Both her and I pride ourselves, I guess is the phrase, in being pretty decently minimalist, as well as I definitely am a financial minimalist. I don't really buy anything for myself. I don't eat out. I don't have an expensive car. I have no debt. So definitely a financial minimalist at least. So with that being said, drum roll, I have 177 total pieces of clothing compared to her 280 I think she had. So I wish she had bet me. I encourage you to do the same. I encourage you to count up your clothes while you're going through them. You can throw some into a pile that you can give away, donate them to those that actually need them when you don't even wear them. But with that, thank you for watching this long, in-depth, confusing, twist-and-turny video. And I'm just going to shut up and stop talking. It's long enough. Thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.